We were invited up here to Shepley, just outside Huddersfield, by David Elliott, who's the Managing Director of Wellhouse Leisure. Wellhouse import large numbers of these Japanese MPVs, which they then convert into two-berth camper vans. The camper van conversion they put on all the vans is more or less exactly the same. The object of the exercise being to produce a really high-quality camper that actually stands up to some use, isn't going to fall apart, and that they can make up to a really high level of quality.
Wellhouse Leisure was started on the 3rd of March 2003 and we're 5 years old this year.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How many vehicles do you reckon you've done in that time?
We've been doing around 100 vehicles a year, mainly bringing them across to start with from Japan, already converted, and then about 3.5, 4 years ago we started with this first conversion, and then it progressed from there. Everything that we now sell, as you can see, all has a brand new conversion.
One of the big benefits you get when you buy a vehicle from someone like Wellhouse is that you know that everything that they put in the vehicle, apart from the obvious specialist items, is actually made here. We were able to watch their specialist woodworker putting some of the units together that will later go into the vans. And so you know that kind of thing is not subbed out to a third-party contractor. It's actually done in-house. They do know exactly what the end result should look like and should be. We arrived at Wellhouse with only 2 or 3 days' notice, so we got a very genuine look at this busy little production unit. In their limited space, they can only work on a couple of vehicles at one time, so we saw one van with a newly fitted lifting top, starting its interior fit, and the other was just having its lifting roof fitted. In this kind of factory, multitasking is the norm. All the team learn each other's jobs where possible, so there's a maximum of flexibility. Over the last 5 years, the production team have stayed together, a good sign of people enjoying their jobs and becoming really skilled at them. Having the production unit right behind the showroom is another good sign if you're in the market for a camper van like one of these. David Elliott will take anyone around the workshop at the drop of a hat, which is a pretty good indicator of his opinion of his workforce and production values. And this is the big moment. There's just a few more minutes' work to go before Tim and Mark can take their dinner break, and this camper is well on its way towards a new life that's all about leisure in Britain after working for its living in Japan. We'll be back to see the finished vans and meet David Elliott again in the next edition. In a morning spent watching the guys here working away, it's been interesting to see just how high a standard of quality you can work to on vehicles like this, especially when you're doing more or less the same conversion each time. The guys get to know exactly what they're doing, exactly how to do it, so each job is done spot on, and there's no real changes between the different vehicle models, so you don't see any hesitations. Each part goes in its place because they've done that kind of vehicle a dozen or 50 times before.